right? So I like to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So this is an article that I want to get into. Um, I actually was holding on to this article, so this article was like 10 days ago. So it says Gen Z are waving goodbye to soul sucking 9 to 5 jobs as social media convinced them to ditch corporate careers. And actually, I went into this on the highways and hedges like, man, maybe a month ago or something like that, man. But I've been out of work for about almost 3 weeks now. So yeah, almost a month ago actually, man. I went into this, man, about how even the millennials are, I think, 27 to like 40 or something like that. But the millennials themselves are actually are getting into like social media, like YouTube videos, Instagram, TikTok videos, and things like that, right? Because entertainment seems to bring more money than a 9 to 5 job, man. And right now, that's what a lot of Gen Zs and millennials are approaching. And mostly, like I said, on the highways and byways, and I remember I said, you will see more millennials on YouTube videos than you will see um, Gen Z. And I guess that also depends on who you're subscribed to as well, right? So, but again, the article says Gen Z are waving goodbye to soul sucking 9 to 5 jobs because again, you're not really getting paid. Hey, the scriptures tell you what when you go into the book of Haggai 1, man, Haggai 1 and right here 5. It says, "Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways, ye have sown much and bring in little," right? Because you want us to work hard. That goes for Gen Z and the millennials. I will be considered what they will call a millennial because I'm about to be 32. So you go out and you work hard, right, for a paycheck, but this paycheck ain't really providing nothing, man. It's not really providing nothing because with the interest rate hikes, with the interest rate hikes, with gas prices going up, the cost of living period going up, the paycheck that you're getting isn't enough. And a lot of people say, well, you gotta live by your means, meaning that you gotta live under your means, right? Well, you might as well live in a damn tent then, because that's the only thing you're gonna be able to afford. Because when you got rent prices that's $1,600 to $1,800 a month, I remember rent. What up, man? I remember when I was working at a warehouse. This was years back. I was working at a warehouse. I was maybe like 19 years old. I think I was about 19 years old or something. I'm working at a warehouse, and I'm living in a 3 bedroom um, townhouse. 3 bedroom townhouse. So a 3 bedroom townhouse is bigger than an apartment, of course. But I was paying $800 a month. $800 a month. Compared to what I'm paying now, I went from $800 a month to living in an apartment that costs me over $1,600 to $1,700 a month. so when you talking about Gen Z or the millennials don't want to work, well, this is the reason why Gen Z and the millennials don't want to work, because they not falling for the bullshit that they call Gen X. Gen X are those that are much older, man. I forget the age, but I think the age range is like 47 and up or something like that. For Gen X, Gen X was in that sentiment of working hard. Well, because at the point of their time, You could buy a house for $16,000, man. $16,000 $16 to $20,000 at that time, right? So they worked hard, they pushed it, they owned their homes. Once they owned their homes, um, the housing market went up, so their houses went from 16 to 20,000 to 100 to 130,000, 130,000 to 200,000, 200,000 to fucking 300,000. So homes that they owned at 16 to $20,000, they now have those same homes that now cost 3 to 400,000. And if they still have those homes are now $447,000 to $500,000. So Gen X that own home, they all good in favor. They all good in favor, man. But for Gen Z and Gen Z and the millennials, it's not working out for them, because you gotta make at least 125 to $130,000 a year to even get a home today. And even if you get a home making that amount of money, you look, the home is still damn near $447,000 to $500,000. So you're gonna be working pretty much all your life just to pay off that home, because if that home is over 440 some $1,000, interest is gonna hit that. So you, for some, you was supposed to be getting paid. For some that's supposed to get paid off and they say 30 years, you're gonna be trying to pay that off in more than that, 35, 40 to 45 years, man. That's a fact. So again, Haggai 1 and 5. So again, man, Salakia, I know I'm rambling on, but there's a lot to talk about, man. There's always a lot to talk about. Haggai 1 and 5. Now, therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. So you better consider your ways. Consider the your ways, man. Consider how you're moving within the society today. Consider the workmanship. Consider how you're dealing financially. Consider all these things, man, because all these things are affecting you here in this place. But do not keep your mind upon those things, because like it tells you in Colossians, man, think not upon the worldly things, but think ye upon the heavenly things. I think that's Colossians, the 3rd chapter, right? That's also I believe 1 John 2 and 15, right? Love not the world, neither the things in the world. For if you love the world, the love of the Father is not within you. So consider these things, man. Damn, foot's starting to hurt. Haggai 1 and 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. So you eat, but you have not enough. It's not enough. Especially if you have a family, man. If you have a family, it's even more effective. That's why a lot of people right now are considering not having children, man. Are considering not having children. So you got a lot of women that's on like birth control, or, you know, if they're in a relationship, they talk about kids and then they tell you that they don't want to have kids. There was a video that I watched. What was it? I want to say Saturday, but that was like she was in her maybe early 40s, mid 40s. She was in her early 40s, mid 40s, and she said, I don't want no kids. I'm living my life. I'm happy. I'm alone. I'm blah, 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 blah. But a lot of people are actually choosing to be in that mindset because of the times that you living in now. Now, yeah, you could be alone, get a 1-bedroom apartment. You'll be straight, but interest rates are still going up. Gas prices are still going up. Cost of living is still going up. You're going to eventually need somebody to help you. And guess what? There was a brother that posted a video on a group chat where a black woman was crying about needing help, needing a man. And guess what? There's more videos that's going up right now of women crying about wanting to be in relationships because times are getting too tough. So again, Gen Z are waving goodbye to soul-sucking 9-to-5 jobs as social media convinced them to ditch corporate careers. It says social media has already persuaded a quarter of Gen Zers to ditch their corporate careers. You got a lot of millennials. You got some millennials, not all, but some millennials and Gen X are saying Gen Z are lazy. They're not lazy. They're look they're looking at the cost of living, and the cost of living is not doing too good. That's why you got people working 3 to 4 fucking jobs, man, burning themselves out to work and work and work to afford the things that they need. If you live in an apartment, you got a car, you paying on a car, you gotta pay on that car, right? You gotta pay insurance, you gotta pay a cell phone bill, you gotta pay internet if you need internet. If you work from home, you gotta get groceries, you gotta get all these things, man. Right? But these things are expensive, right? So Gen Z isn't looking at, I don't want to work, I don't want to get a job. They looking at, look, this job isn't paying enough for me to afford uh the cost of living, so I'm gonna find something that's gonna help me be able to afford the cost of living. So what they're getting into, they becoming YouTube content creators, TikTok content creators. You got women doing what? A lot of women are getting into that the OnlyFans thing, man. OnlyFans thing, or selling themselves for sex. Uh, that basketball player not that long ago, his wife was doing OnlyFans, and he found out about it because he was going broke. So she considered the only way they could make the money to live the way they were originally living was for her to do OnlyFans. And you got women uh, doing OnlyFans. You got, some women are working 3 jobs. Some men are working hella overtime or trying to get overtime if they can get overtime, and they're trying to find ways to try to get around shit, man. To try to work it out. But Gen Z, like, look, man, I just rather become content creator. I just rather do content, be an entertainer, and that's how I'm gonna get my money. So a lot of them are doing what? They get on video games. They're recording themselves playing video games, or some you got millennials or Gen Z have their little brothers and sisters make videos of them playing with toys. You got people driving their vehicles, crushing stupid shit just to get views, just to get views and subscriptions and subscribers, to try to bring in some financial means. But it's getting hard out here, and this is just a fact, man. It says social. It says social media has already persuaded a quarter of Gen Zers to ditch their corporate careers. It's official. After dipping their toes into the working world and spending a handful of years on a job, Gen Zers are already over the traditional 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. grind. And also, Salakia. Also, because you got a lot of Gen X that's having to go back to work. These are people who, because I brought up Gen X owning their homes, but not every Gen X own a home. But you got some Gen X who, have their 401ks, they're retired, and because of their retirement is now trash, they have to get back up and go back into their field of work. And even at that, some of them can't even go back into their field of work because they too damn old to even go back to that kind of work. A lot of appropriate work for Gen X to get back into, like they are getting back into, is being electricians. Some of them trying to get back into construction work. Some of them trying to get back into their fields, if it's a possibility, if they can, because they still have a lot of experience, but they haven't been out in the field in a minute. So, it's bad for them, because now a lot of Gen Zers, a lot of Gen Z having to see their grandparents go back into work. So now they're looking at, damn, my parents are into work, and now my grandparents got to go back to work, and then they still complaining about money. They still complaining about paying their bills, right? So again, Haggai 1:6, it says, "Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have." Salakia. Bear with me for a second. Salakia. Right, so it says, ye have so much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put in a bag full of holes. So it looks like, Gen Z is understanding that, man. Right? They understand that 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is not a way to grind, man. It's not a way to grind. Even if you were like, think about it. You work a 9 to 5 job. So let's say you work a 9 to 5 job, right? So you work 5 days out of the week, right? And some people get up early, some people get up late, whatever, right? In order for you to even get by, you got to get overtime. Because depending on where you live and depending on how you live in, whether if it's in a townhouse, apartment, or whatever, you usually rent is pretty high, man. So 2 weeks worth of your paycheck is going to go straight to rent. So now you got to hold a portion of that, at least 30% of that, towards your rent, right? If your rent have increased, so now you're holding more of a percentage towards your rent. And on top of that, food is at a high price. So at the end of the day, you looking at a monthly bill to be close to about $2,500 to $3,000. You're going to be fucking broke, man. You're going to be broke. And you could be making $20-some an hour. Back in the day, I want to say at least 10 to 15 years ago, $20 was a lot of money. And if you was making more than $20 plus overtime, you middle class. You were middle class. Now these days, that's poor, man. That's poor, and especially especially even if you have somewhat of money management, right? If you manage your money properly, it's still gonna be hard for you to get by. You definitely still gonna be living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're not like a nurse, a travel nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, or you know what I'm saying, like something that's gonna be making you a good $120,000 a year, a lot of other jobs ain't really gonna be giving you that, right? So you got to pick up other jobs. You got to pick up 2 jobs. You got to do Uber. You got to do what is that? It's Uber, right? I think Uber is where you pick up people and drive them around, or whatever it's called, right? You got to do Uber Eats. You got to do a lot of other shit. Amazon, the Amazon packaging thing, just to make it by, man, right? So time's only going to get tough, man. It's only going to get harder out here. And Gen Z is seeing that. Gen Z is seeing that the 9 to 5 ain't going to work out. So what they're resorting into content creators, right? So again, man, you just putting that money in a bag full of hoes. But through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, man, we almost out of here, man. There's a lot going on. Lord willing, you keeping up to date with the articles and things that's going out. and you pushing it as best as you can. We do what we can, you know. We do what we can for Yahweh Shema Shah through the Spirit. But other than that, I'm going to end it from there and say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakaha Kwadash. Double unto the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work and truth and sincerity. I like to say shalom.